The Apple Vision Pro is officially available for pre-order, and at the time of this video, it seems as if this is well on its way to selling out, as shipping dates have just been getting pushed back even into March. Apple has released a full walkthrough video as well of someone's initial experience wearing the headset and trying it out, which is very similar to the experience that I had back at WWDC, but with a lot more visuals for me to show you. And so I kind of wanted to walk through what it's like, when you get your unit and try it for the first time, which will happen in the next 2 weeks. But first, I do want to touch on the pre-order process. I was really nervous about this one. There were reports that Apple was only going to have about 80,000 units available, and I know that this is a niche product. It's a first-gen product. It's not going to be consumed by the masses right away, but 80,000 units is not that much. And yes, it's $3,500, but I thought this was really easily going to sell out. And I might be correct, as as I mentioned earlier, the shipping dates are starting to slip. So good news is, right at 8 a.m., I was able to complete the face scan via my iPhone and get my order in for Vision Pro. And it was really seamless. There are 3 configurations for storage available. There's a 256 gig option, 512, and 1 terabyte. Now, the 1 terabyte model seems to be that, and the 512 seems to be the more popular options, but it'll also run you around $3,900. There's also an extra battery, carrying case, some extra bands that you can get, and light seals available. And if you need a prescription lens, you can get them starting at $99. If you wanted to get everything, like the max storage option and all of those accessories, you're kind of inching somewhere between $45,000 and $5,000, which is a ton of money for something like this. But if you want to do it, you can. The one thing I do want to mention about this scan is that I did one on my iPhone, and I got small bands for both, which is what it told me, and then it said 21W, which I'm guessing means width or 21 wide, who knows. However, when I scanned again after I placed my order on my iPad, I kind of just did it just because, I got completely different results. It said I needed a medium band for both the single and dual loop, and then a 33W. I really hope the reports about swapping bands and light seals at the store is true if your fit isn't great, because I don't actually know which size I need now, so that's something that I'll have to monitor. All right, so moving on to the video. I do recommend watching it in full. It's basically like the hour-long demo that I had condensed into 9 minutes, but I do want to kind of walk through some of the portions here. We have the man here trying Vision Pro for the first time, while a female Apple employee kind of walks him through it. And so when you first put on the headset, you see the room that you're in, which is true, and it does look that great. It really is a fantastic set of displays. And then, of course, you'll bring up your home screen and kind of navigate through that. And that wow factor that you see him have here is true. It does kind of feel surreal. I don't know how to explain it. Now, obviously, you can do what you want with your unit. You don't need to do what they're doing on this tour, but I do recommend starting out with the navigation so that you kind of see how things are. It is very seamless and intuitive once you get going. So you'll want to try out gestures for like selecting and zooming in and zooming out. And just kind of placing things all around your room. It is all very intuitive, and I think the biggest thing you need to realize is that you don't actually have to have your hands in the air to do this. You could just put them down at your side and it will still work, which is incredible. They also go through looking at photos, panoramas, and of course spatial videos. This is definitely going to capture some of that wow factor, and it's kind of the easiest thing that you can do with your own personal photos. Every panorama that you've taken will be available, all of your photos, and of course if you have an iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max, you're already able to take spatial videos with your phone, and so you can watch that on your Vision Pro. Or if you don't have that, but you get a Vision Pro, you can actually record those spatial videos with the Vision Pro as well. I think the next thing people will want to do is watch content, which looked incredible during my demo. I even saw a 3D movie, and I'm not sure how many of those will be available at launch, but I'm still excited to watch just regular content on my Vision Pro. There's tons of great things from Apple TV, and then I'm sure other apps will be available. It is kind of a shame that Netflix and YouTube won't have any apps available. They say you can use the browser if you want to, but they're not even going to support the iPad apps, which honestly is very petty in my opinion, because all you have to do is just check a box. You don't have to create another app. You just check the box for your iPad app and it becomes available for Vision Pro. So there's really no reason that they couldn't do that, but that's where we are right now with that. They also talk about the audio coming from the Vision Pro, which from what I remember was actually pretty good. And, he makes that comment as well, that it sounds crazy. It's all around you. That is spatial audio, and you do get that. You don't have to have AirPods in. It comes through the sides there. But if you do have the brand new AirPods Pro with USB-C, that will give you lossless audio. And so that'll be fun to pair. I did just pick up one of those in preparation for the Vision Pro to make that experience that much better. Apple also shows off how it's like to work with Vision Pro, the whole spatial computing and the screen real estate that you have. And they walk through, having your mail set up and having music off to the side and responding to messages and browsing Safari and doing the whole scroll and all of that stuff. I think that's something I'm going to want to do with a Bluetooth keyboard and a mouse. That's going to be the most interesting part for me. I want to try it. I want to work with it, but I don't want to type out with my fingers. That just seems like a nightmare. So definitely going to need to travel around with a Magic Keyboard and Magic Mouse at the ready. But also, there's the whole MacBook thing where you can just open up your MacBook Pro or MacBook Air or any Mac really and look at the screen, and then it automatically just has an option to connect, and you can go ahead and connect to your MacBook and it brings up your screen on your Vision Pro. They touched on that super briefly in this video. They didn't actually show me how that worked in the demo, so curious to see how that actually goes in real life. But that is the most intriguing thing for me as well, especially when traveling. FaceTime was also an interesting experience for me. I remember being a little freaked out at the 3D render that you get when FaceTiming someone who's also wearing Vision Pro, but it's pretty cool to see something somewhat lifelike instead of a cartoonish avatar. I'm also looking forward to seeing my 3D render, my scan, my avatar, and seeing what I look like to others. So then the tour kind of continues through experiences and stuff, and honestly, I just, again, recommend watching this whole video, but I don't know, these experiences are cool to do one time for sure, maybe going into like those scenic views and stuff. And of course, the dinosaur encounter is something you should definitely try, but it's like a one-time thing. I might do it again, and then, I don't know, maybe you show it off to others, but how often are you really going to be doing that? I have no idea. Of course, I'll be bringing you tons of content related to Vision Pro in the next few weeks once we get ours on February 2nd, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those videos, and let me know what you want to see specifically too. That always is helpful so I can kind of narrow down that content. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.